Well, hello everybody. Good morning and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. It's wonderful to be back with you. My name is Amy and I will be with you for the show today. And starting us off, we are here at Oldonyo Lodge in Kenya. And wow, what a way to start. Some beautiful elephant bulls and some zebra there in the background. And it's just a beautiful scene today here. The sun is shining, a little bit misty in the distance. We can't see the mountain just yet too clearly, but hopefully maybe we'll get a view of Mount Kilimanjaro later on. Now remember everybody that this is a live and interactive show, so please do chat to me. You can send through any comments and questions that you may have as we go along in the next 2 hours. So make sure that you do send those through in whichever way is most convenient for you. This is a spot where we often do see elephant bulls hanging out, and it's nice to start off the show today with them. We had one or two come to visit yesterday, but they didn't hang around for too long, whereas it seems these boys are quite comfortable here today. Mr. H, yes, I did hear that today is International Zebra Day, so appropriate having some zebra on screen for you all, and hopefully we'll have a lot more. There's quite a few locations that we do visit where we get to see a lot of zebra, so hopefully they'll make a good appearance for us. These elephants are, well, the one is still sort of there by the inlet pipe, and you can see his trunk sort of grasping onto there. I'm not sure if he's actually sucking up any water. There we go, he's having a drink now. As the one on the right looks like it wants to come to where the other one is, but isn't quite having a chance to drink there just yet. The one on the left is a lot larger. Elliot is a wonderful start with Ellie's today. Pei, you want to know how can I tell if it's a male or a female? So when it comes to elephants, it is something that with a little bit of time and I suppose enough exposure to elephants, one does sort of get an idea of certain behavioral characteristics that you can notice to say whether it's male or female. And the fact that we've got 3 very large elephants here with no younger ones around without seeing anything else, it tells me that it's males, 3 bulls. You wouldn't find, generally in most cases, you wouldn't find females that are in a group like this without any offspring or calves, even if they are quite big already with them. And then so that's the one. And then of course the size, immediately they are very large elephants, and female elephants just don't get as big as males, so that is the other. And then finally one can look at their genitals as well, with the males having a penile sheath between the back legs, but it isn't super clear from this angle right now. Sometimes it's more obvious than other times. Peter, yeah, the elephants are definitely hogging the waterhole at this point. It's nothing that we haven't seen before. I think that, eventually sometimes the zebras get thirsty enough or get impatient enough that they do try and approach while the elephants are still here. We've actually seen it happen many times. But they've come closer already, the zebras, so we might see one try to sneak in a drink, as they often approach from the right hand side. So we'll just have to wait and see. Well, it looks like that bigger elephant is done with his drink, and you can see the one that was waiting there on the right is now very excited to get its trunk there to the inlet pipe. I'll have to see what this one at the back does. Oh, sorry, little guy, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. definitely seems that these two are happier to share with one another now. Mr. H, you say that there were lions here last night at Old Donyo. That's very exciting. And in fact, here specifically, we have quite a lot of action. Very cool sightings and curious little animals that come out that we don't normally see in the day. I know there's been the striped hyena seen, and at the same time drinking. Crazy. Taurus, so generally when there's a soft swishing like what we see most of the time with elephants, it's not a sign of discomfort at all. It may be a sign that there's something that they want to swish away like a fly, but generally speaking it's part of their very relaxed behavior. When we start to see that tail changing and being more, let's say, erect or sort of straight out from the body, that is a sign of discomfort, irritation, aggression. You see it many times with a flustered elephant or an angry elephant. That tail will come out sort of vertically from the back end. So the age of these elephants actually is quite different. The one that's at the back is a lot older than the one that's in the front, as well as the one that's moved off now. We only have the two here, not the three. But and I'm saying that based on size. So the one that's sort of standing in the water, he's got a much smaller head, smaller body, smaller tusks. Everything about him is on a smaller scale compared to the individual at the back. So I would say there's probably maybe 15 to 20 years at least between these two elephants. The one probably being around the 20-year mark and the other maybe 35 to 40 years. And I don't know, I feel like there's definitely a bit more movement now. This younger one, you can see now he's starting to maybe move off a little bit. I think a bit of a head shake there with the zebras that have, I think, even come a little bit closer now, some of them. There's fewer standing there. I think some might be just to the right of where the camera is. And they have such an interesting approach. Like I say, eventually they get comfortable enough or maybe impatient enough to want to come to the water while the elephants are still there. And now having them sort of facing front on like this, it really is clear just the size of the skull, the head itself, compared to the one on the left with the one on the right. The one on the right still having quite a lot of growing to do. Quite tall already. They reach their height quite soon, but to fill out and gain the muscle mass as well as the bone size takes a good few more years. I do feel like he asked very nicely if he could come and have a drink there with that water. Okay, well, while these elephants enjoy their drink here, let's pop over to Tortoise Camp where there's a bird. Oh, beautiful. We have a saddle-billed stork, everyone, and some baboons foraging in the background. This is just beautiful. Ari, hello, you're joining us from the Netherlands. Lovely to have you on board. Thank you for saying hello. And Ellie, you are loving the saddleboard stalk, saying it is so gorgeous. Isn't it just? A lot of blacksmith lapwings in the background there. And this bird getting its name from that saddle, that bright yellow saddle that sits on top of the bill. And it looks like it has a yellow eye, which makes this a female. The male saddleboard stalks looks much the same, but has a black eye and wattles, small wattles that sit at the base of the beak.
Hello, I'm James Hendry, and I'd like to take you on a very different kind of safari through the wild heart of Madagascar. In Underseebe, we'll track the Indri's eerie call through misty rainforest. Then it's east on to Masuala, where lemurs leap through the jungle, coral reefs glow beneath the waves, and adventure waits around every bend. Come, let's explore it together.
Oh, even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh! Whoa! This is action-packed.
Would you like to know the difference between a male and female wildebeest? You can ask me questions like this in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature, live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
If you love watching Wild Earth, here's a little tip. Become a member. You can gain access to the channel ad-free, you can rewind and re-watch sightings, and you can join our Tuesday live safaris. There's also behind the scenes videos, fireside chats, and every Safari Live episode, whenever you want it. It's just a better way to stay connected to nature.
Recently passed named Craig within the similar sort of region here in East Africa, and I think he was early 50s, 53 or so. So it just shows, you know, elephants don't live forever, of course, but the ones that we get to know so well because of their iconic tusks remain such an icon and a memory for so many who got to take some incredible photographs of him, meet him, and One Ton will be much the same. And we're grateful that we still have him here with us and also coming onto the Waterhole show as well. Oh wow, I mean, those are just huge. There's a giraffe as well in the background. Yeah, Ruth, a celebrity indeed on our screens. I'm just taking a moment to enjoy the scene and soak up these moments with one ton here. Mercedes, you're also excited to see one ton. I don't know when last he was actually here. I'm just thinking when last I saw him. It was definitely this year, probably a few weeks ago. But I feel like he rotates through. Elephants are not territorial animals, so they have vast home ranges, of course, depending on the size of the reserve or wilderness area that they live in. And this being quite a vast one, and so they can roam freely in a great area, meaning that they don't have to sort of come by the same places too regularly. And as I said, it can take a few weeks before they come past the same waterhole again. Mapeyu, you want to know how long an elephant pregnancy lasts? So a female will be pregnant for 22 months. So that is just less than 2 years. And that is as long as they are pregnant for. So it is a long period. But actually, you know, considering the size animal they are and the size and level of development that calf needs to be when born, it actually is a reasonable amount of time for them to be pregnant. Something caught their attention there. I know the giraffe was moving. I don't know if there was something else that was moving as well. Oh, I see. There is actually a fourth elephant there. Maybe there was a bit of communication happening earlier between them. And it's interesting, you know, one ton, of course, being a tusker, having probably the largest tusks of the elephants within the area, at least definitely from the ones that have visited this waterhole. It doesn't necessarily mean that he is the dominant bull anymore with his age and, you know, how worn down his teeth would be. It doesn't, you know, his tusks are big, but nutritionally wise, he might not have the same strength as some of the younger, older bulls, if I could put it that way, like the one there sort of in the middle facing us. His tusks are big. He looks, you know, he's got quite a lot of muscle on him still. And yeah, so it's interesting in terms of experiencing must. I'm not sure if one ton experiences that anymore as a bull elephant. And although bulls will start to experience sort of, I suppose one would say, symptoms of must from 25 years old, if they are in a reserve where there are a lot of other bulls or older, more dominant individuals, that must is quite suppressed until later on, where they can sort of go into fully blown must and have that heightened testosterone that pushes them to mate. And it's all nature's way to ensure the best and strongest genes are passed on. The next group of animals is awaiting in the waiting room for the waterhole. It seems like the zebras gave up, moved off. So yummy, yes. Generally speaking, tusk by length also reveals older elephants. So like I say, in general, yes, the bigger, the longer, the thicker the tusks are, generally the older and more mature the elephant is. There are exceptions to that. On Sandringham, one of the reserves that I drive during our live safari shows, I've seen quite a young bull. He doesn't have the thickest tusks, but he has very long tusks. It always surprises me. And that is unusual, I would say, and possibly well on his way to, in let's say 30 years time, being considered a tusker if he's got such long tusks already. But of course, long is not only important, it's also the thickness of them that plays a role. And another thing I was reading up, because I was fascinated, I was asked a question about testosterone and tusks and that sort of thing. But actually there's no, some research has been done, but there's no direct correlation that one can say the more testosterone, the bigger the tusks. Genetics are more of a role player than hormonal shifts or hormonal levels. There are some indirect correlations with levels of testosterone and when tusks grow, which was very interesting to read, but it's mainly down to the genes of the elephants, because females can also grow very long tusks, and actually there are photos and evidence of female tuskers which are also very impressive, but mostly found in male elephants. Kim, I'm actually not sure. From what I've seen in all the time that I've spent at this waterhole, in terms of a tusker that's on the same level as 1 ton, I haven't seen any others. I mean, the other bull that is here has very impressive tusks, but not at that tusker level just yet. Peter, most of the time the giraffes do sort of stick to the side and wait, but I have definitely seen 1 or 2 come while an elephant is drinking to try have a drink themselves, and sometimes they are successful at doing that. I think it definitely depends on the individual. David, he definitely is looking his age. You know, he is he has lived a long life, like I was saying, about 50 years or so, and he has all of that experience, a lot of stories to tell. And I find that from observing older elephants like him, in comparison to even some that we were looking at earlier here, I don't know if it is because his tusks are so big that it makes his head look a little bit smaller. But definitely the sort of younger elephants that are probably, I would say, 10 to 15 years younger than him, in their sort of prime, let's say, are just have a bigger head, have a bigger, you know, they have more, I think, more muscle mass. Obviously their teeth are not as worn down, so they're able to extract a lot more nutrition from the food that they're eating, and so they're just healthier in general. You know, part of the life cycle for elephants and that sort of thing. But he still looks well. He still, you know, it doesn't look like he is sick in any way. He's moving well still, and for him and the life that he has left to live, I think he's going to live it out very peacefully and hopefully in our presence for as much as possible, while we can look at him and enjoy sightings of him here at the waterhole. Yeah, melanistic marble, I definitely wouldn't be sticking around if I was a lion at the sight of those tusks. He might be old, but he still knows, you know, how to be an elephant, and he has a lot of weight behind him, and those tusks are not to be messed with. David, definitely, he is such a handsome man, handsome boy, and I mean, so regal standing here. Definitely lessons we can learn from an elephant is to not always be in such a rush, that is for sure. I wonder if now that One Ton has been here by himself for a while, if any of the giraffes might make an approach.
Step into the exciting world of the original science. Next September, Master Tracker Renus Mhlongo and Wild Earth's Steve Falconbridge lead a spectacular safari through the Kruger, where you'll learn to identify tracks and then trail iconic big game on foot. Days are spent immersed in the field, evenings around the fire sharing stories, from the hair-raising to the hilarious. This is the ultimate wild immersion for the nature connoisseur.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. The best driver at Wild Earth, it is me. I believe I'm the best driver. I think so, because I've... Best part of my job, I say, is just to try and look out for these animals, track them down. I love tracking animals. I love looking for, fresh tracks, and if you can find them, it's just at the moment of accomplishment. If I wasn't a presenter for Wild Earth, I would be the drummer for AC/DC.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature, live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
Ellie, I mean, they do. Elephants have extremely large, strong muscles to be able to support their bodies, and specifically their head and neck to be able to keep it where it is. Plus, then for something like Oldonyo, for somewhere like Oldonyo, where we have One Ton with his long tusks, an elephant that has such big tusks, that is an extra, sometimes close to 200 kilograms of weight that's there. So that's also extra for the muscle to have to support. But interesting, if we compare it to the likes of the giraffe, for example, they also have an extremely large neck muscle. Probably multiple muscles that make up, but there's that hump sort of at the base of the neck, and that is part of the muscle structure that allows them to be able to move that neck up and down. Rhinos are the same. Another elephant on approach here. Two zebras having a little bit of a go at each other. Probably two boys. Zebra fights can be very serious, but sometimes it is a little bit of a bachelor herd with males hanging out together and practicing their fighting skills. Well, this is a very cool perspective to be able to see the zebras through the legs of the giraffe. I thought maybe one ton was going to make a graceful exit, but it seems that he is sticking around for a little bit longer, which is wonderful. Eagle lover, you are enjoying watching Live at the Waterhole today. It is so wonderful to have you, and I'm so glad that you are enjoying the show. It has been such a treat to have one ton the Tusker here with us, and we are just soaking up as much time with him as possible because he's not here always, and he's such an impressive elephant. So I hope you all are enjoying it along with us too. Peter, no. So a tusker is not just a big elephant. A tusker refers to an elephant who has significantly large tusks. So I don't know if there's an actual measurement that's in place. There probably is, actually, that it has to exceed a certain number of centimeters, in order for it to be classified into the tusker sort of category. But I would say there would have to be at least a meter or so in length. Some of these tusks are longer than that, because remember, they also go up into the jaw there and sit below the eye. So there's a significant, not a large portion of the tusk, but there is some extra that goes up into the skull as well, where they sit. And when you see an elephant skull, you actually see where the sort of the hole, I suppose one would call it, where the tusks actually sit in the skull. And it's also not just length. I think they are quite thick. So, they're not just sort of skinny long tusks, but they also are of a significant width as well, making them very prominent on elephants when you see them. Well, our friend, the Agama at Serengeti, is back, so let's have a quick look at him. Here we go, the Mwanza or Spider-Man flat-headed rock Agama, and he is so beautiful with the colors. Hopefully he'll stay. Erica, you say that you have been missing the Waterhole show. Things are getting in the way of Wild Earth. Such is life, Erica, I'm afraid. But we are always here when you are able to join us. And should you ever miss a show or want to catch up, our shows are on our YouTube channel for you to be able to go have a look at when you do have the time. Okay, well, now that he's moved off, let's head over to Elephant Pan. Wow, well, this is amazing to see. I mean, this trough that's filled with water, it's normally completely dry around it entirely, and you can just see how much water has fallen and how it definitely is the peak of the rainy season now. Water everywhere. Interesting that despite the place being completely full of water, the elephant still chooses to go to the trough where they believe the cleanest and freshest water is, and particularly using the trunk like that to get rid of the surface and any debris, to be able to, bring up the cleaner water, supposedly. I think it's all pretty mixed in together now. But it does look like there is a little bit of sort of an algae layer maybe that's on the surface. It could just be the light. But it does make sense that the elephant wants to sort of spread that out a little bit. And it looks like this elephant is not alone. There are a few there at the Mapani tree line that's dotted around the edge. Clearly this one's thinking that the better water is still on this side. This is a great spot for an elephant to have a swim. I mean, if I was going to choose a place, this is so beautiful and so much water around. And nice to know that this elephant isn't completely alone. The others are there, and I think there might be a few little ones around too. I'll just have a little look to see. David, yeah, I'm sure that there are quite a few bottom feeders, including catfish, that do keep the water quite murky and the soil disturbed at the bottom. Let alone all the elephants moving through as well. Well, as these eddies are moving off, we're going to head over to some that are at Tau. Oh wow, hello boy. You're clearly after this particular tree. That's right within Tau Lodge. And I mean, if you've got the ability to get to the tree that you want to get to, why not? Doing a little bit of pruning. Oh, whoa, that's an entire branch. Goodness me. Well done, boy. That was highly impressive. And you can see how the fence there is more of a deterrent than anything else, but it is small. But the elephant chose to not sort of try and climb over it and be a little bit clumsy over everything, but respected the fact that it was there, but still used its ability to reach for what it wanted without causing any serious damage, although there are times where it can happen that damage is incurred. But that's just an elephant being an elephant, and part of having places out in the bush is that certain repairs will need to be done from time to time. Ellie, exactly. The elephants are doing some landscaping. They are known as ecosystem engineers for a reason. Oh, there's another boy that's on his way. You can just see him walking in the distance there. It's always impressive to see an elephant bull sort of walking with a sort of bounce towards a waterhole from a distance. Okay, let's head over to Oldonyo. Well, One Ton is still here and friends. Joanne, happy Saturday to you as well, and to everybody who is watching and enjoying. Hopefully a relaxed Saturday for you. If you're working and got this on in the background, I hope that you're enjoying it, whatever you may be doing. It looks like One Ton has moved on to actually starting to cool off a little bit. So not so much just drinking. His friends are enjoying the little outlet pipe there. But he is starting to keep himself cooler. I don't know exactly when he'll head off, but this is sort of the second step that elephants often take at waterholes. Sometimes there's a bit of a mix, but at this particular spot there's a place to drink and there's a place to splash, especially if they've got some other eddies that are also wanting to drink from the spot there at the back. Yeah, Ari, exactly. 1 ton takes his time. Absolutely no rush whatsoever. He knows this area, like the back of his foot, and would be no real place that he has to be, really, unless for some reason another elephant decides to throw his weight around or something like that. I don't know if anyone would with the tusks of that size, but he can simply do his thing, and when he's good and ready, move on. Starts to feel a bit hungry. Jace, this is definitely part of his home range. Look how the others are moving. So interesting. Definitely part of his home range. He comes here, I don't know if we can say often, but regularly he does pass by. So this is definitely part of the area which he frequents.
What is the wild really saying? Over 4 unforgettable days in the Cylinder Spillway, you'll step into the ancient art of tracking. Guided by master tracker Renius Mhlongo, expect sharp humor, deep knowledge, and stories from a lifetime of tracking. Less classroom and more boots, laughter, and wild discovery in Africa's great wilderness landscapes.
I get to wake up every morning and go out there and look for cats. I get to create my everyday safari for myself. I grew up in the sort of central eastern suburbs of Johannesburg, fully qualified trails guide and a fully qualified nature conservationist. I love the wild places. I love being in the wilderness. It's probably one of the best jobs I've ever had and probably ever could have.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Wild Earth Travel's newsletter is your passport to a magical journey. Explore exclusive travel options featuring special offers at stunning Wild Earth locations and all hosted by your favorite presenters. Don't miss out. Head over to our website and subscribe to the Wild Earth Travel newsletter today and stay in the know on all our unforgettable adventures. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
So Helena, it's interesting, not all zebras actually have their stripes disappear at the belly. Many of the plain species, it continues all the way around. I think these are the same. The mountain zebras, however, are a species, and I must just check, I think the gravies as well, where they stop. And that's just a genetic difference between certain species and why they do or don't. I wouldn't be able to tell you an exact reason, why it is that way, other than due to geographic differences in certain DNA and genetics that have become the genes of certain species mean that some have the stripes that continue around the belly and others do not. Melanistic marble, you're asking about the black spot, also referred to as a chestnut, that sits on the inside of the front legs of zebras. And it's interesting, it is not a scent gland that is functional. It's said to be possibly the remnants of a ancestral scent gland, but I do know that its function is actually it's skin that's exposed. A zebra's skin is black, and it's a calloused area because when they sit down, they fold their legs in, and the hooves actually touch in those exact spots. So it's actually there to protect the skin, a calloused formation that is tough to cope with the friction and the touch of the hooves on against the zebra's skin. Nice to see some zebras arriving, and actually not too far away from this elephant. A little bit too close. Well, I believe there are some waterbuck around, so let's head over to have a look at them. Oh, this is cute. I have a little baby waterbuck, everyone. It's a very fluffy baby, I must say, next to mom there. And this is the divisive waterbuck. You can see that sort of white area around the bum rather than a ring like the species that we get in southern Africa. Nina, you say that you can see that heart-shaped nose so clearly. Yeah, it does become quite apparent when you get a good view of the front of the waterbuck. Well, earlier I was talking about how nice it would be to have a swim at Elephant Pan, so let's head over there for some elephants in the water. Wow, so many eddies arriving. These ones look very excited to be at the water, ready to cool off. And we often say it, but this particular scene here at Elephant Pan in Botswana is really something that is quite special. And today, you know, there's been a lot of rain, so the water is quite dirty. But when there's not a lot of animals here and it's completely still, and you get these sort of reflections from the trees and the sky, as well as the mapanis that stay green for quite a lot of the year, it really is quite magnificent. It looks like these ellies are wading further and further into the waterhole. I'm really hoping for a pool party. Fingers crossed. I know how we all enjoy seeing these elephants have a bit of a swim. And sometimes they'll actually move across the entire water hole from this side to the other side, crossing from the center. And I wonder if the sort of the idea or the effort they're going to come to this trough is just purely out of habit. Like I say, when it is the dry season and this water level is a lot lower, and they generally use the sort of natural pan for wallowing and splashing around, and then they come to all drink from this trough, which usually has clean water in because it is pumped. But now, I mean, it's all mixed together, so I can't see that water being significantly cleaner whatsoever than the water that's surrounding it. That elephant that just moved away to the right actually had a short tail. Just a little, very, very short tail, only a few centimeters long in comparison to how long they normally are. Well, that one just deciding that it was a time to release some, what did we call it yesterday? Bran muffins, I believe was the term used to describe the rhino poop. So these are just extra large sized. So lovely to see all of this elephant action. My day is definitely made. We're going to head over to some baboons now that are at Lentor. Hello there. You're just coming to give us a little bit of a closer inspection. I love it when they do this. It's like it's peering around the camera, like it wants to look behind me. I don't know if anyone else is feeling that way. Yeah, and you say camera technician. It definitely looks like oh, he's back. It definitely looks like he's working on the cameras for us today. I find it fascinating watching these baboons here at Lentor. They spoil us with some great action and entertainment. Jan, you love baboons. I mean, how can you not, right? Oh, our technician's back. I'm not sure if it's the same one every time.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change. Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature, live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
Sarah, very much so. The baboon is the sweetest thing, and yeah, Mako, you saying baboons are on the camera, and they are great actors and actresses. Yeah, they do put on a show, I must say, and even seeing the play between some of the little ones, and it does seem like they are acting sometimes. It's very entertaining. And the grooming that they do is also some of the more entertaining things that we get to see. so specific and intentional. Definitely a little bit of movement around there as well. You can see a bit of the dust. Baboons do love to play and run around. Alright, we are going to head back over to Aldonio for the last few minutes of the show. These boys have been enjoying the time here. A few different ones that have popped up as well. Still some giraffes around too. Well, I think we've had a fantastic show today, everyone, ending off January in style. And Jan, it's a pleasure. Yeah, everyone stay safe for the rest of their Saturday. Enjoy your weekend if you are enjoying one. And today, I mean, everything from lots of ellies around, zebras, giraffe, and of course those entertaining baboons. Wildlife Lady, you love today's Live at the Waterhole. It is such a pleasure. And like I said, it was a great show. It was great to have you all on board as well. So I hope that you all enjoyed it. Of course, the highlight for me, definitely having 1 ton, the Tusker, hanging out here for almost, I wouldn't say all the show, but definitely a large portion of it, which was really special. Well, to everyone who did send through comments and questions, thank you so much. And the show will be back again tomorrow, so make sure that you come and join us for Live at the Waterhole. I will be heading off on a little bit of a break, so I'll see you in a little while, but keep well, enjoy the live safaris and the Waterhole show, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye for now.